Again, we are moving our clocks forward an hour, which may spark some concerns about your sleep patterns, and with good reason, because according to the Center for Disease Control, 1/3 of U.S. adults report they usually get less than the recommended amount of sleep, which is at least 7 hours, Kristen.
7 hours, what's that? Not getting enough sleep is linked with many chronic diseases and conditions such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and depression. It can also lead to motor vehicle crashes and you making mistakes at work.
And also fights with your significant other. So getting enough sleep is not a luxury. It is something people need for your good health. But there is some good news. Sleep disorders can be diagnosed and also treated. So for some home tips, we spoke to the author of Normal Doesn't Have Side Effects, Dr. Amy Duffy, for some tips on getting better sleep.
Dr. Duffy, thank you for joining us for a problem for so many people. How do we get better sleep? You have 5 great tips for us, starting with what? Where do we even begin? A mistake we should avoid.
Well, you know how important it is to get sleep, right? And lack of sleep can lead to so many health conditions and problems. We really want to focus on how can we improve our overall health, and one of those is to get better sleep. So one of the mistakes that people make is drinking something warm. You know, you always hear your grandma, here, have a cup of warm milk before you go to sleep, right? Well, or hot chocolate is something that maybe some kids are drinking, something warm, hot chocolate. Well, that hot chocolate is full of sugar and caffeine and can be really stimulating. That milk, a lot of people are dairy intolerant, and it can lead to exacerbating acid reflux at night or stomach upset. And both of these are liquids, right? So you're going to be waking up later to pee. Not a good thing.
Hot chocolate. I'm like, that was hard before.
Right.
That, wow. I always think when you're in bed, you're tossing and turning. It's a good idea to get up, do something else, and come back. What do you say about that?
Yeah, that is something people will say, you should only associate your bed with sleep. So if you can't sleep, get up. Here's my thing. If you get up, you're turning on lights. Maybe you're going to the kitchen to warm up that glass of milk or hot cocoa. While I'm up, let me throw in a load of laundry. Oh, I'm going to turn on my computer, check some emails. Now you're up for hours. Instead, let's have a plan in place. If that's something that happens to you regularly, have a recording of a guided meditation or an audio relaxation ready to go so you can turn it on as soon as you start noticing you're not falling asleep. Or you can practice some of those breathing exercises, in for 4, out for 4. But I really think you should try to stay in bed. Maybe you're only awake for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but if you get out of bed, you're going to be up for hours.
Yeah, then you're really overstimulated.
Yeah.
Can you have a glass of alcohol before bed to try to relax? That glass of wine, it can be
right. Everybody wants that glass of wine, right? And that's going to calm my brain down, helps me relax. And it might do that initially, but withdrawal from alcohol is the opposite. It's very stimulating and will actually wake you up later. And alcohol is a diuretic and another liquid. So here we are having to go to the bathroom again in the middle of the night. And many alcoholic beverages, including wine, have a lot of sugar. And you're going to get that sugar rush followed by a crash. So this isn't just menopause, ladies. You'll wake up with night sweats in the middle of the night when that blood sugar drops. So again, if you're going to indulge in that, maybe do it earlier in the evening, not right before bed.
Okay. All right. On the morning shift for TV, I have had so many colleagues try different melatonin or sleeping pills to help with sleep.
Yeah.
What do you think about those?
Well, here's the deal. When you're throwing out the prescription medications, and there's a lot of them out there, but taking that sleeping pill, it kind of tricks your brain into thinking you're sleeping, but you're really just sedated. So you're not getting great sleep. You often will wake up still feeling unrested and maybe even a little hungover. So yeah, trying something more natural like that melatonin or changing up your sleeping habits and seeing a doctor who can really diagnose why you're not sleeping and make sure that we're addressing the reasons why instead of just, band-aiding it with a pill that tricks your mind into thinking you're sleeping, right?
So interesting. Yes. Okay. And then your last one to avoid. I do this all the time. You have your smartphone right there.
Yeah. So what happens, you turn that phone on, that light immediately stimulates your brain. Yeah. It interrupts your circadian rhythm. We're not supposed to have light at nighttime. We're supposed to be calm and quiet. They got all these blue light glasses and, blocking screens and things like that could be helpful. But once you start on that path, you're suppressing melatonin actually. So here we are trying to sleep. You're supposed to have natural melatonin, that light, and that phone is actually suppressing melatonin. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, is turning on your smartphone when you can't sleep.
I got to get better at that. I really do. Dr. Duffy, thank you for all of these tips. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Such good ideas. Mary Marshall back with us. And Mary, we have this conversation all the time, and Ellen knows I wake up in the middle of the night and I go eat. I eat a snack, which I know.
Do you really, Kristen?
I think I sleep eat. I think I sleep.
Yeah, I
eat.
think you do too. It's too often.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I do check that phone. And I did learn now, just from watching the segment, that suppresses my melatonin production. So I need to put the phone further away from my bed. That's my big takeaway from here, because sleep is something I could really use.
Yes, I go in and out, right? And the do not disturb mode, Chris and I were just talking about this during it's very important, right? You can get the family calls, but not anybody else that you don't really need to know until you wake up in the morning.
It's hard. We were talking about snoring earlier this week, ladies, and you know, that could wake people up. But the hot drinks, that surprised me.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, that was always that old wives' tale, to have something hot
Warm
to
milk.
cool you down.
Because mentally it seems so soothing.
But you gotta go to the bathroom. Ellen, great tips. Thank you so very much. Mary, we'll see you in a bit.
Everybody had their moments. Everybody had their